Life Audio.
Welcome to the TMUS podcast, where we share how grace, commitment, and cooperation can help couples live the everyday moments of marriage together. Hey everyone, we're Ted.
And Ashley Slater. Today we're talking about how getting married requires that you realign your relational loyalties and priorities. We'll share 3 practical ways we've learned to leave and cleave in marriage. We hope they'll be helpful to you too. Ted.
Yes.
Today we're talking about, and I'm doing air quotes, leaving and cleaving, which is a popular and biblically based saying in the Christian community when it comes to marriage.
I think most people have heard those.
I think so. But before we dive into that phase and explore what it means and how to live it out, I thought we'd have a little fun by testing your knowledge on some common proverbial phrases.
Is this random or is this relate? Is it lead up to something?
I don't know.
I mean, it's a fun thing.
Right. Leave and cleave is not really one of those proverb type sayings.
Okay.
But it's one of those phrases that's
that
kind of
knows.
old and you hear. Right. And so I just thought this would be fun.
Great.
Okay, so I'm going to start the phrase.
Yes.
And you need to finish it.
Okay.
And tell me what it means.
Okay.
A journey of 1,000 miles.
Takes a long, long time.
No.
Begins with a single footstep.
Yes. Well, it's a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That means you ain't going to get 1,000 miles unless you start.
Right.
You got to start.
Yeah. That's it. All right. You ready for
it does take a long time, though. Unless you're on like a rocket ship, like SpaceX or something.
Right. Or you fly a lot.
Yep.
Okay. Fortune favors.
Those who plan.
Nope.
The lucky.
Nope.
The fortune favors the prepared.
No. I admit I had not heard this one before.
Fortune favors
the bold.
What? That's not a thing.
It came up in my searches.
All right,
it's basically people who are brave and take risks
Carpe
are more
diem.
successful than people who do things safely all the time.
Okay, here's a phrase. Carpe.
Yeah. Diem.
Okay.
Yes.
Next.
All right. Hope for the best.
Expect the worst.
Prepare for the worst.
Oh,
this is me in a nutshell, right?
Hope for the best. Prepare for the worst?
Yes.
All right. Like if you're getting married, you hope everything's going to go well, but expect that the cake won't be made.
Right. Well, it's basically in any situation, be optimistic.
In case the cake is not made, just be prepared for that.
Yes.
Let your heart be.
And if you've listened to the podcast for a while, you know that happened to us.
It happened to us.
Like Ted kept saying, something's going to go wrong at our wedding.
They're going to forget to make the cake.
And they did.
Yeah.
All right. People who live in glass houses
need a whole lot of shades.
or curtains.
Should walk around modestly.
No. Think about it.
Okay. Don't throw stones.
Yes. Should not throw stones. You actually knew that one. You're just...
I did. There's a Billy Joel album cover.
Right.
Glass House, I think it's called.
Yes. Okay.
Just throwing a rock at it.
Okay. So...
Don't be a hypocrite.
Yeah. I feel like it's the, saying version of, take the log out of your own eye type.
Or if you dig a hole to set a trap for someone else, you're going to fall into it, or...
I don't know. All right. Yeah. I got one more.
All right.
And this is one that many people think is from the Bible, but it's not. Cleanliness is...
Next to godliness.
Yes, exactly.
I was looking for some snarky something.
And you just couldn't come up with anything.
Well, yeah.
So, do you have a favorite proverbial phrase?
I do.
What is it?
Memento mori.
Is that a proverbial phrase, or is that just a Latin phrase?
It's a proverbial Latin phrase.
Okay, true. Well, I think most people probably know what that means, but if not, why don't you... Okay, I guess look that up. If it were me, I'd be like, can you spell it for me? I think mine is probably actions speak louder than words.
Oh, yes, definitely. Yeah, don't just tell me, show me.
Right. That's a song in My Fair Lady, too.
Is it? It's a song from Rush as well.
Oh, is it? Yeah, there's this Eliza is mad at Henry Higgins, and this guy named Freddie is kind of trying to court her. It's the guy who actually plays Sherlock Holmes in the 80s series. But he sings, she basically sings, don't tell me, show me. Anyway, that's a total tangent.
No, but that's a good one.
But okay, so as I said,
yes,
leave and cleave is not a proverbial phrase, but it is a popular saying that's inspired by Scripture. Genesis 2:24, and I'm reading the ESV, says, "Therefore a man shall leave his father and his mother and hold fast to his wife, and they shall become one flesh." So basically, it's this idea of leaving behind our dependence on our parents in favor of an interdependent relationship with our spouse.
Funny thing about the word cleave, it means itself and the opposite. You have a cleaver to cut a piece of meat in two. But then, you cleave to your spouse. You hold fast to your spouse. It's a weird word.
Yes, and this is why I call you the walking dictionary. Actually,
I get it wrong very often.
No, but I have called you that
on
occasion. It's cool. I like it.
Kind of an interesting factoid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, when we got married, almost 22 years ago, I think the idea of leave and cleave, it wasn't foreign to us because we both grew up in the church. And we read it in books.
Absolutely.
Even our premarital mentors talked about it.
Yep.
And I think we had every intention of leaving and cleaving, but I think it turned out to be harder in practice than it was in theory.
Yeah, I had some interesting ideas and behaviors, particularly in those first years.
Yeah, and we'll bring up at least one of those in just a little bit.
Sounds good.
But I think with time, something I came to realize, especially as I actually wrote an article for Boundless on this, was that maybe we had missed, or at least I had, an important aspect of leave and cleave. And that was that leaving and cleaving demands that we redefine who our immediate family is.
That's big.
It's big.
It's never happened before.
Right. It's a big deal.
Yeah.
As we said, we became a new independent family, as in immediate family.
Nuclear.
Right. And I think often a lot of people think that having kids makes you a family, but you become a family when you get married.
That's true.
I mean, couples who are married and don't have kids are still a family.
Absolutely. Family of two.
Yeah. Okay, so where did that place like our parents and siblings? Well, they're still our family, but they've moved more into the extended family category. And I think that's hard for parents to hear, especially if they're a really tight-knit family.
Oof.
But isn't it the goal? I mean, we're parents. We have our kids are getting older and older. Isn't the goal to raise up independent adults who become less and less dependent on us?
Well, I know I bring it up from time to time that we are raising our girls as though they're arrows, in a quiver, right? Let your quiver be full of them, the Bible says. And arrows are meant to be shot out. They're meant to be released out into the world away from the bow.
Yeah, which is hard, but it's
really
what you're
hard.
Supposed to do. And I mean, we still...
Particularly if you care for your kids.
Yeah.
Which we do.
We got married. We still, loved and honored our parents and were sensitive to their desires. But, when we make this shift, they don't hold the same place when it comes to our loyalties and priorities as they did when we were growing up and then when we were single. And I think we've definitely been tested in our loyalties and priorities over the decades. I don't think leaving and cleaving is something like you do once and you've mastered it. I think as a couple, it becomes easier the more you do it, but you have to keep making the choice to cleave to your spouse.
That's good.
Okay, well, after this short break, we'll share some practical ways you and your spouse can leave and cleave better.
Americans have a big healthcare problem. Over 100 million U.S. citizens carry medical debt, but that's not the whole story. With health insurance, your out-of-pocket and monthly costs are way too high. You get surprise bills, denied claims, and poor customer service. That's a serious burden. As Christians, we don't have to pay for a broken system. Christian Healthcare Ministries is an alternative to health insurance at half the cost. You can enroll at any time and join a proven, faith-based solution that's both reliable and affordable. CHM isn't just help, it's financial and spiritual support when you need it most. Families across the country count on CHM to step in during their hardest moments, and it works. Stand up to health insurance with a low-cost, biblical solution. Join CHM today by visiting chministries.org/wellness. That's chministries.org/wellness.
The Bible tells us, "I will bless those who bless you." That's not just a nice sentiment, it's biblical prophecy. And it's a commandment from God, it's a calling, and right now we're called to act. The teachings of the New Testament are deeply intertwined with the Hebrew Scriptures. As Christians, we are called to honor and respect this shared heritage. The Apostle Paul reminds us in Romans 11:18, "Do not consider yourself to be superior to those other branches. If you do, consider this. You did not support the root, but the root supports you." Supporting the people of Israel is more than a belief. It's a biblical mandate. By partnering with the International Fellowship of Christians and Jews, IFCJ, we can live out this calling together. Just as the fellowship blesses God's children, we know that you will be blessed too. Learn more about the fellowship and how you can live out your faith, bless Israel, and be blessed in return. Visit ifcj.org today. Again, that's ifcj.org. Be the blessing, live the word, answer the call.
So if you're listening and struggling with leaving and cleaving, or you just want to grow in that area, which I think all of us can, here are 3 things that have been helpful to us and may prove beneficial to you too. And Ted, if you think of others to throw in,
all right,
go for it.
Yeah.
Okay, so the first one is aimed more towards those who are in their earlier years of marriage. And I think this is one we had to learn how to put into practice in those first years. And this is where some of what you were alluding to earlier comes in. So 1, give your spouse priority over parents and siblings.
And that sounds intuitive, right?
Right.
I mean, you get married, of course that's what's going to happen.
Right. And you and I were fairly independent when we got married. You specifically, you were in your mid-30s.
Yeah, I had been out of the home for over a decade or 2.
I think I'd only been out maybe a year and a half, because I lived at home when I went to undergrad. It was much more affordable.
Right, but you're still away from home.
Right. Well,
with some independence.
Yeah, once I moved to grad school. Yeah. And, as a single, we still looked to our parents for practical advice, emotional support, and often catered to their interests above those of others. And I don't think getting married means that we couldn't still look to our parents for wisdom, friendship, and love. We could, but what it did mean is that we needed to reorder who ranked the highest on our priority list.
Right. Do you remember when we were talking about putting together a will?
Yes.
And I was planning to include my parents in the will, which is a nice thought, but it's also a little weird, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, unless you were planning for thinking you might die early. I mean, you had cancer, so you had.
No, it was motivated by this thought that I was still having an allegiance to them. That you do want to continue to respect your parents, of course, but it was too much allegiance, which is a weird thing to say, but
right. Yeah, and I think it should be God, spouse, and then others, including our families. But I remember also when I was pregnant with our oldest daughter, I think we'd been married maybe a year and a half. And we had a conversation about, okay, when should we let parents come and visit? And I was like, I've never had a baby before. Right. I don't know what this is going to be like. I don't want everybody descending right away. I need a little space.
Okay.
And that was a weird conversation because you were more inclined to say, well, when do my parents want to come visit? Over
when should we invite them?
Yes.
Okay.
And so that was I think it was around the same time as the other conversation.
Right. That was, yeah.
Yeah. It's interesting because I don't think you think before you get married. Like you said, it seems intuitive and you don't, it's not until you get in these real world moments and situations and conversations that you start to realize it's not as easy as it might sound.
Well, that's true. Yeah.
So, okay. 2, determine to make decisions together first.
What do you mean by that?
Well, when we were doing premarital mentoring, we did that for 5 or 6 years when we lived in the Atlanta area. We often heard stories of how one individual in the relationship tended to go to his or her parents first when making decisions, and that would create some conflict.
Right.
And sometimes that's carried then into marriage. So one way to better leave and cleave is to choose to go to each other first with decisions before seeking outside counsel, even from close family.
That's really good. Sure, of course.
And I think it accomplishes 3 things. 1, it strengthens your interdependence or the interweaving of your stories. So we're using that term. I'm assuming the interdependence. I mean, I'm assuming listeners know what that means.
It's not codependent.
No. It's basically, okay, you're raising your kids to go off and be arrows and to be more and more independent from you. But when you're married, you become more and more dependent on each other in a healthy way.
In a healthy way.
So, like I said,
trusting and relying on and so on.
Yeah, your stories are continually interweaving.
That's cool.
Okay, 2, it shows that you value and appreciate your spouse's thoughts, feelings, and opinions.
Mm-hmm.
And 3, it gives you the opportunity to decide together whether to go to others for wisdom, advice, and help. And then I'm sure we've had decisions where maybe I've talked to somebody first or you've talked to somebody first, and the other one of us is like, wait a minute, why didn't I hear about this before you went and talked to this family member?
Although if there's something really difficult you're working on, it may be good to talk to somebody else first to work through maybe the way to broach the subject.
Yeah, but I'm talking about decisions.
Yeah.
Like
buying a car or...
Right.
Just having somebody go to dance class or...
Yeah. Or I think we had a situation where you were buying stocks.
Right.
And you talked it out with your sister first and decided to buy them. And then I found out about it. And I was like, I just wanted to be the first voice in the conversation.
Got it.
I mean, I didn't care if you talked to your sister about it, but it felt like I was left out of the decision making. And I think there was no malintent with that.
No, of course
not. It just was. But I think that's an example.
Okay.
And I'm sure I've done something. I just don't remember it.
Me neither. I don't remember either.
We tend to forget things. Okay, so we're going to take another short break, and when we come back, we'll share one more practical way you can better leave and cleave in marriage.
Health insurance rates are surging in America, leaving millions without affordable options. If you're sick of having paychecks eaten up by healthcare costs or dealing with mega corporations, then listen to this. Christians don't need to waste money on a broken system. That's why I want to tell you about Christian Healthcare Ministries. It's an alternative to traditional health insurance at half the cost. With CHM, fellow believers contribute monthly to help pay each other's medical bills. There's no enrollment period, so you can join anytime. And you aren't restricted to provider networks, so you choose the doctors and hospitals you want. It's that simple. CHM is not insurance. It's a ministry that puts faith into action. Feel the difference of financial support and biblical care from fellow believers. Join CHM today by visiting chministries.org/wellness. That's chministries.org/wellness.
The Bible tells us, I will bless those who bless you. That's not just a nice sentiment, it's biblical prophecy. And it's a commandment from God, it's a calling, and right now we're called to act. The teachings of the New Testament are deeply intertwined with the Hebrew Scriptures. As Christians, we are called to honor and respect this shared heritage. The Apostle Paul reminds us in Romans 11:18, do not consider yourself to be superior to those other branches. If you do, consider this. You did not support the root, but the root supports you. Supporting the people of Israel is more than a belief. It's a biblical mandate. By partnering with the International Fellowship of Christians and Jews, IFCJ, we can live out this calling together. Just as the fellowship blesses God's children, we know that you will be blessed too. Learn more about the fellowship and how you can live out your faith, bless Israel, and be blessed in return. Visit ifcj.org today. Again, that's ifcj.org. Be the blessing, live the word, answer the call.
Okay, so far we've talked about making our spouse the priority and going to them first in decision making. The third one is decide not to involve extended family in marital conflict. And I think this is one of the very most important ones, honestly. And from the beginning, I don't think you and I have done this.
No.
So, I mean, if you're listening, what does that look like? Like when you have conflict, do you immediately run to your parents or siblings? I mean, if you're regularly involving them in your marital conflict, I'm not sure that that's healthy. And I'm not referring to issues of abuse, destructive behavior, infidelity. Those definitely need run to your family, let them support you, get safe. I'm talking about conflict related to like finances or parenting or how to load the dishwasher.
How to load the dishwasher. I think you've spoken elsewhere about like not grumbling to friends or venting to friends about marital conflict if those friends would contribute to the grumbling or would, give you advice that's unbiblical.
Yeah, well, that's like in the book.
Okay.
Yeah.
But this is something different.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like I said, this is not, I mean, if you're going through something serious with your spouse and you can't talk to your spouse and you need help, reach out to your family. So, but
Sure.
I think when it comes to these types of conflict that aren't destructive ones like this, involving family may, one, unintentionally sour or taint your spouse's reputation with their family. And I mean, your spouse is trying to become part of the family, and that's hard enough as it is.
Right.
Two, it could cause your spouse to feel like you and your family are ganging up against them.
Oof, that's no good.
And three, it can make it hard for your family to let go and forgive even after you have.
Because they haven't necessarily walked through the whole process of conflict resolution and restoration.
Right. And I mean, none of our girls are married. I mean, we have a 20-year-old. But I know when they get in conflict or someone is unkind to them, sometimes it takes me longer to get over it than it does them.
Well, sure, it's a burden when you love your kids.
Right.
And they're
And
going through stuff.
So I just think it's wise when it comes to the, if you're having conflict, you need to talk to somebody. Talk to a trusted friend. Talk to a mentor. See a counselor. And again, I am not talking, we have friends who have gone through infidelity and stuff like that. And of course, they've gone to their families and their families have helped them through it.
Biggest
And
cheerleaders.
Right.
And
So
dropping everything to help.
Yeah. So I don't want to be misunderstood on what I'm saying here.
Yeah, that's a really interesting one. I hope the listeners sort of chew on that for a bit, mull it over.
I mean, don't call your dad every time your husband doesn't take the trash out. Or don't call your mom when your wife is like...
You took the trash out this morning. Thank you.
I did. I think I took it out last week, too.
Yeah. Yes, you did.
I did. But you took it out in between then, because
Yes.
it goes out twice a week.
Yeah.
That was not in reference to that. It was just the first thing that came to mind. So I think instead, as couples, we can work out, those non-big conflicts. I feel like I'm talking in circles, but I just want to really reiterate that I'm not discouraging you from letting your family support your marriage. This is don't go vent and gripe about your husband.
I would hope that the listeners are going to take it as you mean it and not misinterpret what you're saying.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah.
Okay, so to recap, 3 ways you can better leave and cleave in your marriage are: 1, give your spouse priority over parents and siblings. 2, determine to make decisions together first. And 3, decide not to involve extended family in those, every day-to-day marital conflicts. Trash, dishwasher.
Folding clothes.
Yeah.
Snoring.
Snoring, yes. After this break, we'll be back with this week's Us Time Challenge.
Health insurance rates in America are surging, leaving millions without affordable options. But Christians don't need to waste money on a broken system. Christian Healthcare Ministries is an alternative to health insurance at half the cost. With CHM, fellow believers contribute monthly to help pay each other's medical bills while lifting one another up in prayer. It's financial and spiritual support when you need it most. Join CHM today by visiting chministries.org/wellness. That's chministries.org/wellness.
The Bible tells us, "I will bless those who bless you." That's not just a nice sentiment, it's biblical prophecy. And it's a commandment from God, it's a calling, and right now we're called to act. The teachings of the New Testament are deeply intertwined with the Hebrew Scriptures. As Christians, we are called to honor and respect this shared heritage. The Apostle Paul reminds us in Romans 11:18, "Do not consider yourself to be superior to those other branches. If you do, consider this. You did not support the root, but the root supports you." Supporting the people of Israel is more than a belief. It's a biblical mandate. By partnering with the International Fellowship of Christians and Jews, IFCJ, we can live out this calling together. Just as the fellowship blesses God's children, we know that you will be blessed too. Learn more about the fellowship and how you can live out your faith, bless Israel, and be blessed in return. Visit ifcj.org today. Again, that's ifcj.org. Be the blessing, live the word, answer the call.
For this week's Us Time Challenge, I was thinking that those listening, and maybe you'll come up with a better one, but this is what I have. Write down one specific thing you struggle with when it comes to leaving and cleaving, and then share it with your spouse and see if they agree it's an issue, and try to do this without getting in any sort of conflict. And then brainstorm together 2 or 3 ideas on how you can improve in this area.
Yeah, that's real practical.
Yeah.
Shouldn't take too long to put into practice.
No, it should be easy.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us on the Team Us podcast. If you've enjoyed this episode, please subscribe to the podcast, and we'd love to have you leave a review over at Apple Podcasts. We're looking forward to next time as we keep talking about how grace, commitment, and cooperation can help couples live the everyday moments of marriage together.
Team Us with Ted and Ashley Slater is a production of Life Audio and Salem Media. If you liked what you heard today, please take a second to rate and review the podcast in your favorite podcast app so that more listeners like you can find the show. For more faith-filled, inspirational podcasts, visit us at lifeaudio.com.
At Thrivent, planning your finances is bigger than money. It's a way to support the people, causes, and community you love. Because helping you put your faith into action is at the heart of what we do. Thrivent, where money means more. Connect with us at Thrivent.com.